we want to know, how does the height of the board affect these different kinds of energy? And we already talked about what the different kinds of energy are, right? You have gravitational potential energy. That's like based on how high the object is. We also want to know the kinetic energy. That's based on how fast it's going. And the total energy is kind of the combination of all the different kinds of energy. So if we're looking at how the height affects those things, then the height's going to be your independent variable. So we can kind of start with that. And if you already have this, fantastic. This is really just to reaffirm, make sure that you guys are on the right track and that everyone's on the right page. So then, if these are the things that are influenced by the height of the board as it is falling, then those are the dependent variables. I'm just going to go ahead and say the different energies. Okay. Now, there are a number of constants that you need to make sure you keep track of. First, you need to make sure you have your offset, the motion detector offset. Okay. And this should actually be a number. You should actually have measured out what that offset was. If you remember the instructions, right? On the instructions or the procedure, you were supposed to take your board and put it a meter away and actually record what the measuring device read, right? Not all measuring devices, when you take a measurement, there could be error. We kind of talked about this before. There's precision and there's accuracy. So if you look at the way the measuring device measured, it was quite precise. If you put it to the same spot, it would probably tell you the same number every single time. That's precision. But the number was off from the real value by a good bit, like 11 centimeters, 12 centimeters, or whatever, 0.11 meters or 0.12 meters. Right? There was an accuracy issue. It was offset. So we need to record or adjust for the inaccuracy by doing some controlled measurements, right? So for me, I found that in general, my motion detector was off by about 0.12 meters, approximately. Yours may be different. You should take your offsets and average them to figure out your average offset. Okay, you need to do that. You would also need to know the mass of the books. Mass of book. They were 1.9 kilograms. And you also need to know the mass of your board. There are different boards out there, so again, don't just copy what I have. At least not the numbers. What you need to do is look at this and say, these are the pieces of information that I need to make sure I get. So mass of board, in general, I got about 1.2 kilograms. I'm using these numbers because I'm writing these down. I'm going to need them later. Okay. All right. So make sure you draw a diagram. Okay. When you draw your diagram, you need to make sure you label the important features that you want. Right. All right. So this part, there's a bunch of stuff that went into this. Okay. So when you collected your height and falling velocity, that should have been from your LabQuest 2. Your LabQuest 2 put that information into your graphical analysis, and then you can get that data, however, whatever the good data points were. Okay? From there, okay, you're trying to calculate your kinetic energy, your gravitational potential energy, and your total energy. A couple of things to keep in mind. When you're picking out the height from your LabQuest 2, make sure you also add the offset. Remember to add your offset. Okay. So for example, let me see if I still have. pull up this data real quick. Okay. So if you look at these times, you look at my graph, and I'm looking for, like, in this range, something around here, right? In my case, I'm looking at something between like 0.68 seconds and 0.92 seconds. And when I look at the times for that, right, maybe like 0.68 seconds, here's my time, 0.68 seconds. That position